Hello, everybody. I'm SS the Showstopper, and I'm over on the Devil Advocate channel. And it's the 2nd of October in the year of our Lord, 2022. Now, I'm going to talk about Vybz Kartel and Shorty, the Winnie Mandela effect. The Winnie Mandela effect is a theory that was established by yours truly, myself. And under such theory, or to define such theory, it's a system wherein a woman pledge allegiance of loyalty to her partner to the point where she subjects herself to abuse, to disrespect, to lies, dishonesty, cheating, disloyalty, and last but not least, she's replaced. Just to prove that she is a virtuous woman. That's the Winnie Mandela effect. How did the Winnie Mandela effect came about? Well, let's go back into history. Winnie Mandela was the wife of renowned anti-apartheid leader Nelson Rhodilala Mandela. Nelson Mandela was tried and he was convicted on a lot of illegalities under apartheid system, and he was sentenced to 27 years in prison, or he served 27 years in prison. Winnie Mandela stood behind Nelson Mandela all the way until he was released. He ran for president and he won the election. Winnie Mandela was right there behind Nelson Mandela all the way. Charges were eventually trumped up on Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela faced a lot of charges, from corruption to this and that. I won't get into the nuances of it or into the microcosm of it. A lot of charges were placed on Winnie Mandela. And what did Nelson Mandela do? Did Nelson Mandela stood behind Winnie Mandela? No, he did not. Nelson Mandela replaced Winnie Mandela. Not only did he replace Winnie Mandela, he divorced her during a very trying time in her life. He replaced Winnie Mandela. That's where I get the title from, the Winnie Mandela effect. Now, when I look into it as a child growing up, females were taught, oh, when you're growing up, you have to cook you have to learn how to cook, you have to learn how to wash, you have to learn how to clean, because when man take you up, you have to be able to do these kind of things, or it's going to replace you. You are furniture, you are nothing, you're just there, and they don't just want pretty looks, or they just don't want beauty. They want a female who can do stuff, and you have to be able to be loyal. You have to be loyal to him, and you have to can prove your loyalty. Those women who instill those principles in us were abused physically, emotionally, subjected to mind torture, and last but not least, a lot of them were replaced. If they weren't replaced, they were certainly dumped. They were certainly, I'm sorry, not replaced. If they weren't replaced, they certainly became second class, or they became second to another female, to another woman. That's in the picture. So they had to subject themselves to a lot of things just to prove that they were loyal. And who taught us? Our parents, our grandparents, our great-grand. And they all went through it. Oh, I'm doing 40 years of marriage. Grandmother doing 40 years of marriage, 50 years of marriage, celebrating 50 years anniversary. And 50 years of anniversary, had 2 or 3 kids outside of the marriage. He moved out 5, 6 times on her just to be a virtuous woman. And what those husbands say, I had a good wife. She was such a good wife. You know why she was a good wife? She had a high tolerance for counter productive behavior. things that are contrary to loyalty. She had a very high tolerance for it. Those women had very high tolerance for misbehavior, for disrespect. They had very high tolerance, and so they are labeled good women. Today in 2022, we see our dancehall superstar Vybz Kartel, who was with Shorty. And we see so many females over the years, even recording artists came up and said they were with Kartel, they slept with him, they this, they that, they were number one, who was number two, once on a radio. They were arguing who was number one, who was number two, and here was Shorty in the picture, his baby mother. I think she has 3 sons for him. 3 sons. She was in the picture all along. She was in the picture all along, being loyal, being holding down, holding it for him. He went through the trials and tribulation of being incarcerated, going on trial, all these things that came about, accusation of beating up a female, and a female artist. Shorty was there, thick and thin. She was there right through. She was there right through. Vybz Kartel was convicted and given a life sentence. Life. Eligible for parole after 35 years. And who was right behind him? Shorty. She even made a statement that she will wait. She will wait on him. She will wait on him. And today, what do we see? A big circulation that Vybz Kartel is engaged. And who is he engaged to? Not Shorty. Not the woman that was there through thick and thin. Not the Winnie Mandela, who supported, pledged allegiance to loyalty to a man who was very prolific, who sentenced her to public humiliation. You can never have a peace of mind. It matters not glitz and glamour. It matters not what you put on, what makeup you use to cover your face. You can never be happy knowing that you're with someone who is living that life with you. There is no amount of pill you can take that will give you permanent happiness or will give you some sort of great relief. Knowing that's the reality you have to go back to. A person that cheats, that lies, a person that is dishonest. And I know Vybz Kartel fans, they always come down on you, they always want to attack, I care zero. I care zero. This is not about Vybz Kartel in and of himself. This is the Winnie Mandela effect of what reach women when they are loyal to a fault. Not even your own mother or father owes that unsurmountable amount of loyalty. You know why? Because they are human beings and they are susceptible to making mistakes. Some are irreparable. Some are irreparable. Honor thy father and thy mother, that your days may be long on the earth. Children, parents, provoke not your children to wrath. So nobody owes that amount of loyalty. Nobody. Because they're human being. And your sanity is that which is most important. You can't touch it. You can't go near anything that's going to affect your sanity. That's going to shift your sense of reality. That you're not being respected. That's a mighty high price to pay to prove that you are loyal. Now let's define what loyalty is. Let us define it. It is giving or showing, reading from a piece of paper, giving or showing constant support or allegiance to a person or institution. Some very serious words. Constant support or allegiance to a person or institution. That's loyal. Who remember Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria? The big drug kingpin from Colombia. You know what he did? He ordered his right-hand man to kill his girlfriend. His right-hand man had to shoot his own girlfriend, killed his own girlfriend to prove his loyalty to Pablo Escobar. Now ask yourself, what goes on in the psyche of a person for them to tell me that in order for me to prove my loyalty, I must take out my partner? When would it stop? At some point you would have told him to kill his mother or his father or his own child to prove his loyalty. I'm not saying that he did. I'm not saying that he didn't. This man was a terrorist. This man had a God complex. The height of narcissism. He had it. That's a mental illness. Pablo Escobar had it. Because for you to tell a person that in order for you to prove your loyalty to me, you have to kill somebody that is extremely close to you. What does that prove? What does that make you? For a man to want a woman to give him that amount, subject herself to disrespect, to cheating, to lies, constant cheating and lies to prove your loyalty. Something is seriously wrong with you as a man. And for you to be a woman, to subject yourself from that, you must have an ankle, a shoe bottom self-esteem for you to think that is okay. Now, I understand that when kids are involved, you will think twice. But there's no amount. That's only because you were taught that. That's the only reason. Because, watch, because in hindsight, your happiness, your peace and sanity is paramount. Your happiness, your peace and sanity is paramount. So when you're going to go out and you're going to hand over loyalty to someone to that extent, it therefore means that you're willing to sacrifice your self-esteem. You're putting that's a mighty, mighty high price to pay, Shorty. And I don't know if I should say I am sorry. I don't know if I should say I understand what you're going through as a woman. Because a lot of us parents, a lot of females today are going through the same thing. They're loyal to someone. They pledge allegiance just to prove that they are virtuous and just to wear the badge, good name. Oh, this is a good woman me deal with. This is a good girl me deal with. This is my girl. She's top. She's loyal to me. She's this, that to me. Because what? I can screw 20 different women and I can come right back to her. That's the reason. You understand me? A high tolerance for your BS. And that's where the problem comes in. Parents need to stop teaching their daughters that they owe men loyalty just because. That is a virtue. You have to work for it. And you're not owed unlimited amount of loyalty. It doesn't work like that. No human being can function like that. No human being. Because if you're going to give that amount of loyalty to someone, it therefore means that there's a great deal of fear that person is putting in you. So I don't know if I should say I feel sorry for Shorty. You know, people are going to say that she was cheating. People are going to say, and for you to be sitting in prison doing life, doing 27 years, just as what they said about Winnie Mandela. For Nelson Mandela to really sit in prison for 27 years and really think that this woman should close her legs and bend her legs all the time. She need comfort as a woman. She need love and care as a woman. And she must close her legs and hold out. It's ludicrous. It is ludicrous. And I don't care what a person wants to say about faithfulness and about this and about that. Human beings are not robots. Human beings are not robots. They are susceptible to making mistakes. They are going to want loving. They are not an island. Women are not island. So when you leave, we're sitting down there and we don't think about anybody else. It's just on you 24/7 and that's how the cookie crumb. No, it doesn't work like that. I am sorry, not sorry. You can't possibly be doing life and expect a woman to hold her body and just not have any feelings or any nature for anybody else. And it's just you until death. And, you know, there's nothing else that's behind it except, and, you know, vast, this large, this grand loyalty. So, like I said, I don't know if I should feel sorry for Shorty. I don't know. I think a lot of women need to snap out of the Winnie Mandela effect. You understand? They need to snap out of it. This unsurmountable amount of loyalty that you're dedicating to men, it's a mighty high price to pay, and I can reassure you it has no happy ending. A person needs to prove that they are loyal to you. They need to prove themselves through respect, through care, through trust, through honoring you. That's how you give a person loyalty. That's how you give a person loyalty. You don't just take it and hand it over to them and because they are and a lot of these guys are walking around with this God complex. You are crazy. You believe that because you have a lot of money, because you have a spotlight on you, because you're wearing nice clothes or you're driving a fancy car, you are entitled to men body. I see a lot of things on TikTok and on other social media platform saying that me can't girls are gonna drop them jaws now when me that's a very dangerous mindset to have. Girls are going to drop them jaws because you're driving an X6 now or a Lamborghini or you're driving an Aston Martin or you're driving all these high-end vehicle. You are crazy. You are crazy. Women are still going to tell you no simply because they can. And because they don't owe you their body. Because you're driving a nice vehicle or you have a lot of money in your pocket. You will still hear the word no. Not to go off on a tangent, but heading back to Miss Shorty and Vybz Kartel, this man had no form of loyalty. He had no form of loyalty. I don't think there was any respect because judging by that, with so many things going on in the media with other women that he's involved with and all these kind of things and coming out and claiming that they were with him and you stood by that man through thick and thin. I'm not going to label you as a virtuous woman because there's virtue and there's also self-respect. There is virtue and there's also self-respect. I would never use that as an example to any female out there to say, yes, you know what, I think that, Shorty is a prime example in a relationship. She's a great woman. She stood by this guy and that's how you should be. Absolutely not. Not in 2022. A lot of people have missed their bus stop in 1820. They need to hop into the 21st century where people are more civilized. I would never encourage that. That is a shame. That is shame. You can never sleep good at night. There is no amount. There is no amount of money can make me honor a man that's constantly doing these things. Constantly doing these things. Disloyalty. You holding out, you giving me your all. Winnie Mandela giving Nelson her all, supporting him. Winnie Mandela was a gorgeous woman. She was beautiful. She was so pretty. She was so pretty. She held out and she hold out. Hold out. And what did Nelson Mandela do? Nelson Mandela do what Nelson Mandela did? He replaced her. He replaced her. He replaced a woman that proclaimed to be virtuous, to honor him. Through thick and through thin. Shorty, you honored Vybz Kartel. Through thick and through thin. The entire world saw it. Entire world saw how much you cherished him, how much you honor him, how much you were there for him. And this is what it comes to. I don't think you have any daughter. And to an extent, I'm glad you didn't. Because I would never want your daughter to see something like that. Her mother has to endure such shame. Such shame. I would never want, I don't know, I'm not gonna, I can't say that it's a publicity stunt or I don't know the dynamics because you guys are putting it out there and I'm going by what is being put out there. I know Vybz Kartel is known for controversies. But at the end of the day, I have to go by what you guys are putting out there or what he chose to put out there. And he's putting out a lot of subliminals. And he's publicly announced his engagement. So I'm just so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's like black women, to be exact, are cursed with loyalty to the black man. It's a curse. It is a curse. For you to hand over loyalty, so many females out there, oh God, I did 15 years with this guy, I did 25 years, I did so many years with this guy, and he did this, and he did that to me, and he did that, and boops, he left me, and in a few months he married someone else, and in no time he gone to someone else, and he's with somebody else, and he got somebody else pregnant, and he get this, and that's a mighty high price you pay for being loyal to a fault. It has to be a curse. It has to be a curse because generation after generation after generation, we saw our great grand, our mother, our sister, aunt, nieces, cousins. They all went through the same thing. They all have the same story. A friend, you can go on any block in any community and you can hear a woman have the same story of being loyal to a black man. And what did he do? He turned around and replaced her. He dumped her. He gone. He went. He gone. He went. Gone. Sometimes never to be seen or heard from ever again. And we line up generation after generation to hand over loyalty. We're squirting out loyalty. Squirting out loyalty. Squirting it out. And what are we getting in return? What do the black woman get in return? You get replacement. That's what you're getting. You're going to be dumped. You're going to be replaced. Because they aren't going to show you the same loyalty. You're looking for it. And you spend all your life looking for that loyalty, which you will never get. Because they do not have it to give you. I'm going to touch on interracial, but that's another topic for another day. They will never hand over that amount of loyalty to you. So why are you handing over that amount of loyalty to them? What are you hoping to gain from it? What do you gain in the end? Absolutely nothing. Zilch, nada. Nothing. You are gaining nothing. Being that loyal to another human being who simply isn't loyal to you. Why? Why? The Winnie Mandela effect. Evident in this relationship. Evident in so many females' relationship out there. Loyalty to a fault. Loyalty to a fault. You get nothing in return. Other than thank you. Yeah, people can say, oh yeah, she drive a nice car, you get money, you get this. What about your inside? What about respect? What about love? What about care? What about loyalty? What about faithfulness? Kindness, meekness? What about all those things? It matters. One of the worst things out there is to have money. And you can't get any respect. You're alone, lonely. You know, what is it? You can have a partner, you're lonelier than when you're by yourself. Because that's how a lot of them make you feel. You're lonelier than if you were single. Lonelier than if you were single. Loyalty to a fault. The Winnie Mandela effect. That's all I'm going to say for it. I'm running out of time. Enjoy your evening. May God bless you. And I hope that one day black women will wake up. Wake up. Wake up. A lot of you are out there and here. Yes, Vybz Kartel. Yeah, celebrating him. Yes, go ahead. Great job. Congratulations. That's good. That's good. That's good. Until it's your turn. Until the Winnie Mandela effect reaches you. Enjoy your night.